Solving quadratics by factoring. A quadratic equation has the form of some number x squared plus or minus some number x plus or minus some number c, all equal to 0. A cannot be 0 at all. The other two can. For all quadratic equations, the x squared is the largest and highest exponent. There are 4 ways to solve a quadratic equation. So this flashback to multiplying binomials here, if you'll remember, you should have learned this in Algebra 1, but we had what we called the FOIL method, where we took the first, the outer, the inner, and the last terms to multiply together. So we'll go over this a little closer. I'm going to rewrite this problem so I have some room here to demonstrate for you. The first would be the x times the x, which we get as x squared. X times x is x squared. The outer would be x times positive 5, so that's plus 5x. The inner multiplication would be this positive 4 times this x, which is plus 4x. And the last terms multiplied together would be this positive 4 times positive 5, which is 20. Now, once you're here, all you have to do is combine like terms in the middle, and you wind up with a quadratic that says x squared plus 9x plus 20. So let's make sure that we understand what each part of that is. These guys right here, these are called the factors. This is the quadratic. Now, in Desmos, graphing calculator, we can graph that. We can just graph the factors. And when we do, what we wind up with is a parabola that crosses this x-axis at 2 places, at -5 and -4. So let's talk about how that's related to these factors right quick. Those are called the zeros. So if I have this x plus 4, and I want to make that x equals, because it would be, we'll come over here, it would be x plus 4 equals 0, and then I subtract that 4 from both sides, I'd wind up with x equals -4. That is this 0 on the graph. Sorry for the glare. That 0. Same thing if I move this -5 to the other side and have x equals -5, that gives me that 0. So in demonstrating that here, this is what I'm going for. So there's my 2 zeros. Here are my binomial factors, and that's the resulting quadratic. So these are my zeros. This is important because the questions in this lesson are going to ask you to either find the zeros, the factors, or the quadratic itself. And we're fixing to go through looking at them. We are going to use Desmos to look at every one of these. So if you're not familiar with Desmos, you need to look at my video that I'll link up in your references section to help you with that. Okay, so here's Desmos. Here's the 3 example problems. So we're going to factor them in here. Using Desmos, we're going to come up with their factors. The first thing we're going to find are the zeros. Then we're going to write the factors from those. Okay, So if I put this in here as x squared plus 6x plus 8. There's my graph, my parabola. Now, I can zoom in and out here, but what I'm looking for are these 2 points where it crosses the x-axis. This one crosses at -2 and -4. So that is its zeros at -2 and -4. Those are points. This one happens to be -2, 0 as a coordinate point, and this one's -4, 0 as a coordinate point. They're on the x-axis, but they don't go up and down. Now I'm going to write factors from this. So just like before, where I came up with this x equals -5 by moving that 5 over, same thing with this 4. If I move it back to this side, it was x plus 5. So this is pretty simple. This is a -2. I'm going to move it back to the other side, so I get x plus 2. This is -4. If I move it back to the other side, I get x plus 4. Now, I did graph the whole parabola here, but if I came over, excuse me, and just graph these 2 factors here, and you can see that that parabola is green, the second one, but it's the exact same. The blue one and the green one lay right on top of each other. Blue, green, not real good showing up here in color, I'm sorry. I changed that maybe to bright red. Let me fix it. Can't do it. Anyway, it'll be alright, because what we want is label access number display. Anyway, it's the same. These are the same. Both of these are the same. And this is just the factors of that. So that's what this question asked me to find, was the factors. I can do the same thing with the 2 of these. Just put them in Desmos, find where they cross, and then write the factors. So pause this video, try example 2 and 3, and then come back to check your answers with me. All right, so if you graph these 2, here's the first one, this big blue quadratic, and you can see where the 2 zeros are and the factors. If you graph the second one, the purple one, and there are the 2 zeros for it at 0, 0 and 4, 0. Let me take this, turn this one off. So, if you please, there's the 2 zeros for it. Now, when a parabola crosses the 0, 0, 0 plus or minus 0, we don't have to show that. So it's just x. So these are the 2 factors for that. Okay. That's the first part of lesson 5.1. We'll have another video to continue the second part.